What's up, everyone? It's your boy. It's Johnny the 5'8" here. And today I'm going to give my thoughts on every NBA team in the Eastern Conference. I'll make a second video with the Western Conference, so let's get into it. Let's talk about the Cleveland Cavaliers, first team on the list. The Cavaliers had a disappointing playoffs. They were the first seed in the East, 64-18, had a disappointing playoffs. Mainly, a lot of it had to do with injuries like DeAndre Hunter and Evan Mobley. And then some of it just having to do with a lack of perimeter defense. Like, Mobley and Allen are really the only ones holding down that Cavs defense. The Cavs need to get better perimeter defenders. So that way, if Mobley or Allen are not in the game or are out for some reason, they have people to make up for that lack of defense to hold it down defensively without a Mobley or without an Allen. So perimeter defense is really important for the Cavs right now. And also just more consistent scoring off the bench. Like, they got to get more consistent with the scoring off the bench because sometimes, as we've seen in that Pacers series, that bench could not hit a shot to save their life. Like, just terrible shooting from the bench, inconsistency from the bench. Like, they got to get that bench more consistent. Up next, we have the Boston Celtics. Jason Tatum just got injured recently, torn ACL in the playoffs. Unfortunately, he's going to be out, from what I heard, a season and then half of the next season. So for the Celtics, you just pretty much got to play the waiting game. And, you're going to have to, fortunately, probably have two bad seasons. And you're just going to have to play the waiting game. And, when Jason Tatum comes back, evaluate how good he is, where he's at, and if he could potentially get better from where he's at. Or if Jason Tatum has regressed, where do you move the franchise now? Like, what moves do you make? What do you do? You know what I'm saying? You just kind of got to be patient, wait for Jason to heal and recover, and then go from there pretty much. So for the Celtics, it's just pretty much a waiting game and a patience game at this point. New York Knicks. The Knicks. What can I say about the Knicks? The Knicks, really, I like the team. Jalen Brunson, Karl-Anthony Towns, been a great duo. I will say they might want to get some interior defense around Karl-Anthony Towns, as he's not the best defender for an NBA center. He's a great offensive center, but he's not really the best defensive center. He's not really a good defender as a center. So I'm guessing you want to get someone that's a good power forward that can defend pretty well to make up for Cat's lack of defense. So that way Cat can do what he does best and score and just focus on that, and then someone can hold him down on the defensive end a little more. So yeah, definitely that going on for the Knicks. Pacers. What can I say about the Pacers? This team has crazily impressed me. Like, I never thought the Pacers were going to make the Eastern Conference Finals this year. They're going against the Knicks. They're up 2-0 as of recording this. So I never expected the Pacers to get to where they're at. Tyrese Halliburton's doing a great job. They got a deep team. Things are going great for them at this point. I guess just add to your team with the positions you need and maybe some things you'd like to have on that team to make it better. And just keep growing every year. That's all I got to say for the Pacers. Bucks. Oh, man, what do I got to say about the Bucks? Well, first off, you need a coaching change. Doc Rivers and Darvin Ham, that's like Dumb and Dumber right there, okay? Like, got to make a coaching change because those guys are not taking you very far. Also, I would say I think it's time to rebuild the franchise. The Bucks team is getting pretty old. They're a pretty old team. They're getting pretty old. The pieces they had are definitely aging up. And Damian Lillard, he's not the same player he used to be. He's a good player. He's just not the same he used to be. So I think at this point, it's time to rebuild because Giannis is not happy there. From what it's looking like, Giannis is going to be leaving Milwaukee. So if that happens, I suggest, rebuilding the team and just, trading Damian Lillard away to somebody. Trading Giannis away to a team that can get you good picks and younger players to help your rebuild. So that's what I would do if I was the Bucks. So we'll see how that goes in the offseason though. But yeah, that's what the Bucks should do. Maybe just rebuild it and get things going in a new direction. You know, get rid of Giannis, trade him for some valuable picks and some valuable younger players. Trade Damian Lillard, and you know, just try to rebuild the team. You know, and try to make yourselves good for the future. Detroit Pistons is the next team I have to talk about. Man, the Detroit Pistons surprised me. They made the playoffs this year. Good team, doing good. Kate Cunningham's doing great. You know, just got to continue to improve, gain experience, and yeah, pretty much just just gain chemistry, gain experience together, learn how to play as a team. You know, and just keep it going from there. Keep getting better every year. That's pretty much it. Magic. Let's talk about the Orlando Magic. The Orlando Magic, man. Paolo Banchero, you know, Orlando Magic. The Magic, I think, really need a co-star to put next to Paolo Banchero. Like, Paolo Banchero is great, but they could really use a co-star to put next to Paolo Banchero. Or even someone that Paolo Banchero could be a co-star to. So, like, I think, like, if, you know, Trae Young wanted to get out of Atlanta, or you wanted to maybe make a trade for Trae Young, I think he'd be a nice person to put around Paolo Banchero, because he's got that nice outside scoring and playmaking that can really help Paolo Banchero. So, like, someone like that would be great if you can give the Hawks the assets to make that trade happen, which the Magic have a good amount of young players and picks I think they could send over there. So that's what I would do if I was the Magic. Try to get Paolo Banchero a co-star, because I think that's going to help you in the long run and all that good stuff. Hawks. Now the Hawks from where I'm standing have two choices. They can either rebuild and get rid of Trae Young and, you know, build their team up for the future again, or they can try to win with Trae Young by giving him a co-star. And I'm talking an all-star, superstar level co-star. Trae Young's never really had that before. DeJounte Murray was a good player, but he's not like an all-star, superstar level of a player. You know what I mean? He's a good player, don't get me wrong, but he's not that type of player. So, like, getting Trae Young, you could try to get Trae Young a guy like a Giannis or somebody else who may be unhappy with their current NBA situation and see if Trae can do it with a co-star. Or you could just rebuild and trade Trae Young to somewhere else and just, you know, hope for the best wishes in the future. So that's the Hawks' two choices there. Up next, we have the Heat. Miami, I think you need to rebuild. Bam Adebayo is a great player, but he's not a guy that's going to lead your franchise to a championship or a guy that's really capable of leading a franchise. I think he's a great, like, second to third option on an NBA championship team. So I don't think he's a guy that's going to lead the team. So I think you should trade Bam Adebayo to a team that can give you some good assets for him, some good younger players, some good picks. The Lakers need a center, so if you can get something good from the Lakers, like maybe a Dalton Connect or Rui Hachimura, then you know what? Maybe you make that trade, you get some nice picks out the Lakers for it, and Bam gets a spot where he can contend and possibly make things happen with Luka and LeBron. And Luka gets a co-star for the future when LeBron leaves. So, you know, it's setting up the Lakers too in that scenario for that. So yeah, I think those would be. I think that'd be a great scenario for the Heat. The Bulls. Let's talk about the Bulls. You guys are in complete rebuild, trying to shape the team together, and you know, just keep doing your best at the rebuild. Keep trying to get good assets for your team, and hopefully one day you find that generational superstar y'all need. But fortunately, it hasn't happened for y'all yet. But you know, keep your head held up high, Bulls fans. Raptors. Let's talk about the Raptors, man. The Canadian team from Toronto, the Raptors, man. Yeah, they're in a rebuild right now. So, you know, again, like I said with the Bulls, just keep your head held high and, you know, keep going through the struggle and make some good management decisions at certain points. And hopefully one day you'll get the star talent you need. But, yeah, that's all I can really say, man, for the Raptors. Nets. The Brooklyn Nets, they're in a rebuild, so best thing I can say for y'all is same thing. Keep progressing your younger players. Keep, training with them. Keep working with them. Make good management decisions. And, hopefully you'll get that superstar player y'all need. And hopefully y'all can create something over there. Because, y'all have had a hard time. The Nets have had a hard time. They've tried this super team shit 2 times. And it failed each time. So, maybe this time is your, real go-to around to, change it up and really do things differently and make it work for yourself, So, yeah. 76ers, man. What can I say about the 76ers other than I'm sorry for y'all. I'm sorry that y'all have to have Podcast P on your team, who is about as consistent as an adult male star who's 80 years old and didn't retire from the business when it comes to getting an erection. So yeah, not a lot of consistency with Paul George is what I'm saying. Yeah, just hasn't really played really great a lot of times. He's struggling a lot of times to play out there. There's some nights where he does good, but it's not enough. Joel Embiid's injured a lot constantly. I don't even know what Joel Embiid's going to look like coming back now after his recent injury this season. So I don't even know what the team's going to look like. I feel bad for Tyrese because he's just doing his best out there with having Paul George, who honestly averages higher podcast numbers than he probably does points. And, dealing with Joel Embiid's injury stuff. So, it's tough. Tough break out there in Philly, but hopefully y'all figure it out and get some things going your way. That's all I got to say for y'all. Hornets, for the Charlotte Hornets, maybe it's time to end the LaMelo experience, and maybe it's time to maybe rebuild or trade LaMelo for a good piece that you can build your team around, because I don't know if LaMelo's getting it done for y'all, or maybe you could try to get a co-star for LaMelo and give him a shot, a decent, really good co-star, and then give him a shot to do something with it. But so far, LaMelo experience has not gone in your favor. He's playing good basketball, but it's not winning basketball. And that's really where the problem comes in. So, yeah, y'all got to figure out what to do with LaMelo Ball. And that's that. Wizards. Washington Wizards, man. Oh, man. All I can say is I feel sorry for y'all. I feel sorry for y'all Wizards fans. I don't even know if there are Wizards fans, but, I feel sorry for y'all if there are. I truly do. Because it's your best scoring option is Jordan Poole. Jordan Poole is your best scoring option. Which, giving Jordan Poole a green light and free reign of a basketball to throw it up, chuck it up, and score as many times as he can with free reign is like giving a toddler free reign of their sugar intake before bedtime. You're gonna be in for some terrible nights. You know what I'm saying? That's all I gotta say there. I wouldn't wish your situation on my worst enemy, and I'm sorry for y'all. All right, thank y'all for watching. Peace.